What is sex to men? Because I say this all the time. Like, I have been blessed to have an older brother, the homeboys. I've had these conversations with several men. A lot of women have not had this conversation with a man or heard a man having this conversation. So from a man, how do men view sex?
All right, now real quick, I'm just going to say that there's always exceptions to the rule.
All right. Go ahead and throw out the disclaimer.
And some men are going to see things differently. I think for the majority of men, sex is just viewed as a pleasurable experience. That's it, a pleasurable physical experience. There may be some emotion a little bit in that moment, but it stays in that moment for the most part. It's just not much more than that for the guy. You know, now don't get me wrong. And when I say there's emotion involved, I think when he actually likes the woman, he's in love with her, then it becomes something more than just a physical experience, a chance to bond with her, get closer to her. But outside of that, yeah, it's just physical pleasure. Do
men have sex with women they don't like?
Hell yeah.
Look into that camera. Look into that camera and say
yeah.
Why? Why, Stefan? Oh my
why? God. Not only do men, now again, not all men, but not only do men have sex with women they don't like, there are tons of men who have sex with women they're not even attracted to.
So again, this is the men are from Mars, women are from Venus thing, because speaking for the majority of women, I can't even fathom a man on top of me that I don't like, I'm not interested in, I'm not attracted to. Like that, why would I do that? You all are totally...
Well, so
their heads are exploding right now, Stefan. Their heads are exploding.
So now, again, I'm one of those guys where I cannot sleep with someone I'm not attracted to. I'm very visual. I need that stimulation.
Thank God, you got some standards. Okay.
You know, I can't do it. But I know dudes
that have none.
As long as you got legs and something in between, it's a wrap. Okay. And they will have sex out of the mere convenience
just
of it in that moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because again, it is simply a pleasurable physical experience. They're viewing that woman as a chance to get off. That's it.
That's it.
That's all it is. And so, yeah, and as far as not liking her, because the reality is that he only has to tolerate her for that moment in time. This is why he may have sex with you, but he won't be in a relationship with you.
He won't even pick up the phone the next day, baby.
He can't deal with you more than just that moment. But to engage physically, and again, in that physical moment, he doesn't have to worry about having talks with you and all this other stuff. So yeah, he can still enjoy you physically, but not care for you otherwise.
So we're going to pause. A moment of silence for y'all feelings and your edges. Okay.
Oh, boy.
But I think, though, that, again, that's a major disconnect because women, a lot of times, mistake men wanting to sleep with them with men wanting to date them or court them or be in a relationship. And so I hear, shout out to Kevin Samuels, all right? One of the things that Kevin Samuels says often that I do agree with, though, is that you cannot count the number of men who have tried to holler at you or try to have sex with you as the number of men who are interested in getting into a relationship with you. And so I think a lot of times women are mistaking one for the other and thinking, well, men are interested in me. You know, I am a catch. And just because men are interested in sleeping with you does not mean that you are necessarily what men are looking for when it comes to a relationship.
Or
so
marriage.
What's the difference? What would make a man say, okay, I'll have sex with you, but that's as far as it'll go?
So, okay, there's various levels to it. For some men, it could be levels of physical attraction. So to put it in a more specific context so people can understand, if his standard for marriage is, I'm only going to marry a woman who's an 8 to 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, but he'll sleep with a 6. He'll sleep with a 5. You see what I'm saying? So there's enough, and maybe she's not that cute, but her body's banging. So he'll sleep with her because he really likes her body. He wants to try it out. I know that sounds horrible, but I'm just...
That's a real thing.
It is what it is.
Let me put that in my notes because we got to come back to that.
Right. But again, he's not attracted to her enough physically to say, I want to spend my life with her. Because again, it's one thing to have to see you for the night. It's nothing to have to wake up and see you every day next to me. That requires a different level of attraction. Then, of course, there's just the qualities of a wife. Some women, again, may be really cool. And you may even enjoy hanging out with them, but you know you cannot deal with them over the long term as far as marriage. And let me say this. The reality is that women see the same issue or go through the same thing with men. It's just that women are willing to overlook those red flags and still marry that man.
Yeah.
But then be miserable and unhappy. The man knows, like in a lot, don't get me wrong, plenty of men choose horribly wives and partners. But a lot, like I remember one time in an Uber, a guy said to me, he was the driver, he said, you hear in society, women are always being told the fantasy of the one, waiting for that right guy, all that stuff. But what you see play out in dating and relationships is that men tend to hold on to that principle more than women. All right? Women know of the one connection, but the minute they see something that they want, for whatever reason, yes, I will make this work because this is what I desire right now. Whereas men, if they're just not feeling it enough, they're just not going to do it. And that's why I tell women, it's not a reflection of your value or your quality. Y'all two just don't fit together. He can really see or view you as a good woman, just not for him.
So this is not a question that was on my list, but I just feel like because you're hurting feelings and snatching edges, we might as well just snatch the whole wig off. Because I have literally had a conversation with a man. I hope he's not tuned in. It's not my man, y'all. A man, not my man. But I've had a conversation with a man who has, going back to like the 90-day rule thing and men trying to fit into women thinking that they're being in control and, controlling how things are going, but men really having the big joker, like really, pulling the trump card. But I was having a conversation with a man who talked about a woman who had like a 90-day rule and she had verbalized it. Big mistake. So she talked to him about it. She's holding him to this standard and he literally told me, like, yeah, I just did what I had to do to get to the 90 days, just basically to get her back for playing games with him. Playing games with him. Like, he did all of the right things. Told me this out of his mouth, that he did all of the right things, had these conversations, like took her out, did all of the things to play the game. So what is your advice for women who are watching for the red flags, asking the questions, like thinking that they're doing their due diligence, and then they're just dealing with like a fraud?